Have you ever felt like you are doing everything right for your health, but your body just refuses to cooperate, and the nagging pain in your joints continues to hold you back from the life you want to lead? You have heard the stories about the miraculous power of turmeric for joint pain, and you have started adding it to your morning smoothie or taking those expensive capsules from the health food store, yet your knees still ache and your fingers still feel stiff every morning. I am Dr. Board certified in internal medicine and obesity medicine. And today I have to tell you a hard truth that might frustrate you, but it will ultimately save your health and your wallet. You are likely taking turmeric completely wrong, and in doing so you are not just wasting your hard-earned money, you might be missing out on the single most powerful natural anti-inflammatory compound known to science. Most people treat turmeric like a magic fairy dust that they can just sprinkle on food, but the reality of human biology is much more complex than that. Your liver and your gut are actually designed to identify curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, as a foreign substance and eliminate it from your system almost immediately after you swallow it. This means that, for the vast majority of you, the bioavailability of that turmeric supplement is effectively zero. In this video, I am going to explain the hidden mistakes that are ruining your joint relief and show you exactly how to unlock this golden spice using 3 specific scientific hacks that can increase its absorption by up to 2,000%. To understand why you are likely failing with turmeric, we first have to look at the chemistry of the spice itself, because turmeric is not curcumin. Turmeric is the whole root, which contains hundreds of different compounds, but only about 3% of that root is actually the active medicinal ingredient we call curcumin. This is the first mistake many people make, which is assuming that adding a teaspoon of turmeric powder to their cooking is enough to treat clinical levels of inflammation. While culinary use is great for general health, it is like trying to put out a forest fire with a squirt gun when you are dealing with chronic arthritis or systemic inflammation. You would need to consume massive amounts of the raw powder to get a therapeutic dose, which would likely cause significant digestive upset. This is why we often turn to concentrated supplements, but even then we hit a massive biological wall known as the first-pass metabolism. Imagine your liver is a highly efficient customs office at a national border, and its job is to inspect everything that enters your bloodstream from the digestive tract. When curcumin arrives at the liver, the customs officers immediately recognize it as an essential molecule, and they attach a sugar molecule to it in a process called, which makes the curcumin water soluble so it can be quickly flushed out of the body through your urine. This is a brilliant survival mechanism for toxins, but it is a disaster for joint relief. This is where the first and most famous hack comes into play, which is the use of the active alkaloid found in black pepper, and it acts as a temporary bribe for those customs officers in your liver. Scientific research has demonstrated that inhibits the specific metabolic pathway that eliminates curcumin, allowing the active compound to stay in your bloodstream much longer. When you combine just a tiny pinch of black pepper with your turmeric, the bioavailability of the curcumin increases by an incredible 2,000%. It is the difference between the curcumin being kicked out of the building immediately and being given a VIP pass to roam the halls of your circulatory system. But is only one piece of the puzzle, because curcumin is also hydrophobic, meaning it hates water and loves fat. If you take a turmeric supplement with just a glass of water on an empty stomach, the molecules will simply clump together in your gut like sand and pass right through you without ever being absorbed into your cells. To fix this, you must treat curcumin like a passenger that needs a boat to cross a river. That boat is fat. Taking your turmeric with a meal that contains healthy lipids like extra virgin olive oil, avocado, or even the natural fats found in full-fat yogurt or eggs, allows the curcumin to dissolve into tiny droplets called micelles. These micelles are easily recognized by the lining of your small intestine and are pulled into the lymphatic system, bypassing some of the initial barriers to absorption. This is why traditional cultures have always prepared turmeric in the form of a curry with oils or as golden milk with full-fat dairy. They understood the science of synergy long before we had laboratory trials to prove it. Another hidden mistake is the temperature at which you consume your turmeric. Recent studies have suggested that heat can actually increase the solubility of curcumin in water by up to 12 times. If you are just taking a cold capsule, you are missing out on this thermal activation. Simply simmering your turmeric in water or milk for 10 minutes before consuming it can break down the crystalline structure of the curcumin, making it much more accessible to your digestive enzymes. This is particularly important for seniors who may have lower levels of stomach acid or less efficient digestive processes. As we age, we often deal with a phenomenon known as which is a state of chronic low-grade inflammation that accelerates the breakdown of cartilage and the aging of our internal organs. Curcumin is one of the few natural substances that can cross the blood-brain barrier and act as a powerful antioxidant for the central nervous system, helping to clear out the metabolic waste that leads to cognitive decline. However, we must also talk about the dark side of turmeric because it is not a harmless candy. One of the most critical warnings I give my patients is about oxalates. Turmeric is naturally very high in oxalates, which are compounds that can bind with calcium in your kidneys to form painful kidney stones. If you have a history of renal stones, or if you are predisposed to them, taking high doses of turmeric powder every day could be a recipe for a medical emergency. In these cases, I recommend looking for a highly purified curcumin extract rather than whole turmeric powder, because the extraction process often removes the bulk of the oxalates while keeping the anti-inflammatory power. Furthermore, turmeric is a natural anticoagulant, which means it thins your blood. This is wonderful for preventing heart attacks in some people, but it is extremely dangerous if you are already taking prescription blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin, or if you are scheduled for surgery in the near future. It is like adding too much oil to an engine that is already leaking. You must always consult with your physician before starting a high-dose turmeric regimen to ensure it does not interact with your existing medications. Another common error is the timing of your dose. Since curcumin works by inhibiting pro-inflammatory enzymes like COX-2, it is often most effective when taken in divided doses throughout the day rather than one large dose in the morning. This keeps a steady level of the compound in your system. Think of it like a leaky bucket that you are trying to keep full. If you only pour water in once a day, the bucket will be empty by the afternoon. But if you add a little bit every few hours, you can maintain a consistent level of protection for your joints. We should also consider the quality of the supplement itself, because the supplement industry is famously. Many cheap turmeric products have been found to be contaminated with lead or other heavy metals, because the roots are often grown in soil that is not tested for purity. I always tell my viewers to look for products that have been third-party tested by organizations like, or to ensure that what is on the label is actually what is in the bottle. Beyond the joints, curcumin has fascinating benefits for metabolic health. It has been shown to activate an enzyme called, which is often referred to as the metabolic master switch. This is the same enzyme that is activated by exercise and by the drug. By activating, curcumin can help improve insulin sensitivity and help your body burn fat more efficiently. It is part of a holistic approach to health that treats the body as an interconnected system rather than a collection of isolated parts. When you reduce inflammation in your gut, you are also reducing inflammation in your brain and your heart. This brings us to the concept of the gut-brain axis. Curcumin has been shown to increase the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or which is like miracle grow for your brain cells. Many people who take turmeric for their joints report an unexpected side effect of improved mood and mental clarity. This is because the same inflammatory cytokines that cause pain in your knees are also capable of crossing into the brain and causing symptoms of depression and anxiety. By cooling the fire of inflammation in the body, you are essentially clearing the smoke from your mind. For my viewers in regions where the anti-inflammatory diet is becoming a standard of care, it is important to remember that turmeric is just one tool in the toolbox. It works best when combined with a diet rich in fermentable fibers that produce butyrate in the gut. Butyrate is a short-chain fatty acid that acts as the primary fuel for your colon cells and helps maintain the integrity of your intestinal lining. If your gut is leaky, even the best turmeric supplement in the world will not be able to fix the underlying systemic inflammation caused by toxins entering your bloodstream from your digestive tract. Think of your health as a high-performance vehicle. Turmeric with and fat is like a premium fuel additive that keeps the engine running smoothly. But you still need to make sure the rest of the car is well maintained through proper sleep, stress management, and regular movement. I often recommend a simple protocol for those starting out, which I call the golden paste. You mix half a cup of organic turmeric powder with 1 cup of water in a pan and simmer it for about 8 minutes until it forms a thick paste. Then you remove it from the heat and stir in 1½ teaspoons of freshly cracked black pepper and about 70 milliliters of cold-pressed coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil. This paste can be stored in the fridge for up to 2 weeks, and you can take a small half-teaspoon dose twice a day with food. This method ensures you are getting the heat, and the fat all in one convenient package. It is a time-tested tradition backed by modern molecular biology. We also need to address the myth that turmeric can replace all medical treatments for arthritis. While it is a potent tool, it is not a cure-all for advanced structural damage. If your cartilage is completely gone, no amount of spice will regrow it. But what it can do is reduce the swelling and the pain signals so that you can engage in physical therapy and strength training. Exercise is the ultimate medicine for joints because it pumps synovial fluid into the joint capsule, which provides nutrients to the cartilage. If turmeric allows you to walk an extra mile or perform a set of squats without pain, it has done its job by enabling the movement that actually heals the body. For those of you who are worried about the taste of turmeric, there are now advanced formulations like curcumin or technology, which wrap the curcumin molecules in a layer of fat during the manufacturing process. These are often more expensive, but they can be a great option for people who cannot tolerate black pepper or who have sensitive stomachs. The key is to be a self-advocate for your own health and to look at the data rather than the marketing. Always check the percentage on the label because some companies will list a high milligram count, but it is mostly just cheap turmeric root powder with very little active curcumin. You want a product that is standardized to 95% for the best therapeutic effect. This level of purity ensures that you are getting the specific molecules that interact with your cellular pathways to downregulate the production of inflammatory markers like alpha and interleukin-6. Without this standardization, you are essentially guessing at your dosage, which can lead to inconsistent results and frustration. As we wrap up this deep dive into the science of the golden spice, I want you to remember that your body is an incredible self-healing machine if you give it the right inputs in the right way. Small changes in how you consume your nutrients can lead to massive shifts in your quality of life. You do not have to accept chronic pain as an inevitable part of aging. By understanding the biochemistry of absorption and avoiding the hidden mistakes that most people make, you can finally unlock the true potential of turmeric and start feeling the relief you deserve. I truly hope this deep dive into the science of curcumin has been helpful for you and that you now feel empowered to take control of your joint health with precision rather than guesswork. Remember that while turmeric is a gift from nature, it requires a scientific map to navigate the complex pathways of your metabolism. If you have a friend or a family member who is struggling with arthritis or chronic inflammation, please share this video with them, because helping a loved one avoid the frustration of ineffective treatments is one of the greatest gifts you can give. I want to hear from you in the comments below, so tell me, have you been taking turmeric, and what brand or method have you found most effective for your joint relief? As always, I must remind you that while I am a doctor, I am not your personal doctor, and the information provided here is for educational purposes only, so please discuss any changes to your supplement regimen with your primary care physician, especially if you are on blood thinners or have a history of kidney stones. Your health is your most valuable asset, and it is built on the foundation of small evidence-based decisions made every single day. If you found this information valuable, please consider subscribing to the channel so you do not miss our upcoming videos on how to optimize your metabolic health and extend your health span through the power of evidence-based medicine. We have a lot more to cover, from the latest research on longevity to the most effective ways to read your own blood work to stay ahead of chronic disease. Stay curious, stay proactive, and most importantly, stay healthy. I am Doctor, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where we will continue to decode the secrets of human biology and empower you to become the ultimate advocate for your own well-being. Thank you for watching, and remember that it is never too late to start fine-tuning your biological engine for peak performance and a long, active life. I will see you in the next one.